G'day and welcome to A Down Under Yarn. I am your host Fiona, also known as Fifykins. Today is Thursday the 20th of March 2014. I'm quite a few days later than I thought I was going to be, but I had some sunny days, so it has been fantastic for dyeing. This is episode 63 of A Down Under Yarn, and I'm also the dyer behind Solar Flair Fibres. I would like to welcome everyone, especially new viewers, and of course those who are returning again. I am coming to you from Cairns, where the sun is actually trying to peek through at the moment. We've had lots of heavy rain all overnight. It was so heavy that it woke me up at one stage, which is quite unusual because I sleep through most things. So that's how heavy it's been again. It is our wet season. It's what we have to expect, but it makes me a bit frustrated. There will be quite a big shop update happening tomorrow morning. And if you are a subscriber to the newsletter, you should be looking out for a newsletter sometime later on today, my time, which will have something special in it for you. If you are not a subscriber to the newsletter yet, by all means, subscribe. There will be a link in the show notes. And of course, as always, the show notes are available at fifykins.com. Now, I don't know where to begin. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. I think it's been about 10 days since I recorded last. Last week, it rained for most of the week. The sun peeped out suddenly last Thursday. I got a tiny bit of dyeing done then, mainly catching up with orders that I'm getting at today. Then on Friday was a bit overcast again. Saturday, Sunday were fantastic. I was able to get quite a bit of dyeing done. Monday and Tuesday I also got some dyeing done. So I've actually got quite a bit done, enough for a shop update for this week. I will be holding back some of the yarn for next week so I can include them next week because the weather for the next week does not look that promising for dyeing because I dye using solar techniques. So that means I need the sunshine. I've had a couple of people suggest to me that I start doing other things. I perhaps get a barbecue out and say it's Aussie dyeing, but my techniques and the colourways I do work because of the nature of the sun. So that's how I dye, and that's how I'm going to keep dyeing. I do see where some people are coming from, and it's great. I've had quite a few people contact me saying, why don't you just put stuff on top of the stove just for this time of year? That's not how I operate, and that's not how my business operates. I am only new at it. This is my first year, so I know that next year I'll have some more stock put aside that I will be able to have regular updates throughout the wet season. This year we've had, I suppose, what people are calling a typical to above average wet season, which means that we've had a lot of rain. Here's Ninja. Ninja wants to say hello. You saying hello, Ninja? Yes. She wants to say hello. Hello, beautiful. Yes, you can say hello. Okay. Now, so we've had those days. We have a Japanese homestay student with us. She doesn't have a lot of English. Fortunately, she arrived on Tuesday. Tuesday night, Imogen actually cooked dinner for them. She cooked some filled pasta, some tortellini with a carbonara sauce, and the girl didn't really eat very much. Midori is her name. She didn't eat very much. Yesterday morning, I cooked porridge. Didn't really eat that. So I was really worried. Last night, though, we had a Mediterranean chicken casserole, and she seemed to like that with rice, so that was good. They've actually gone out to the reef today, which is not the best day to go out to the reef. Sometimes they do find it is a bit sunnier out there, but you never know. Anyway, we've got to find something to do with it this weekend in the rain, and I'm kind of stuck for ideas. So if anyone has any ideas of what to do in Cairns in the rain, let me know. I've lived here 11 years now, and I suppose part of it is we think we've done it all, we've seen things, and forget that there are things that people like. Thought perhaps a drive up to Port Douglas because it's such a beautiful drive anyway, regardless of the weather, might be an option. We'll wait and see. What else has happened? I mentioned a few weeks ago, a friend whose son died very suddenly. We actually had the funeral memorial service last night, yesterday evening. Cut a long story short, a lot of his family's still in the UK and they wanted to come in through Skype, which was really special. So it was a really special service, and we celebrated with tea and cake afterwards, which he would have just loved. So really nice remembrance of him. But again, 23 taken too soon. What else? There's other things that have happened, but I can't quite remember what they are. Anyway, let's get on to the knitting because this is going to be Ministradia, because this is going to be a big show. In March and April, I am having the Knit a Hug Knit Along. Now that is It started off last year. I started the Knit a Hug, Knit Along to, in March and April, knit a shawl or some mitts or something that could be used as a hug for someone for whom Mother's Day is a challenge. So it could be someone who is experiencing infertility, someone who is estranged from their children, someone whose own mother has died recently, someone for for lots of people, Mother's Day is not the hallmark holiday that people pretend it is. This year I've gotten involved with Cairns Butterfly, and we're knitting a lot of micro preemie stuff for babies that are born far too early, that are usually born sleeping. And often these babies are really, really, really tiny. They're looking at 7 centimetre diameter hats in a really stretchy rib so that they can stretch over the baby's head for the parents to hold the baby and perhaps have some photos taken, but so that the very fragile bones don't get crushed. So that's the sort of stuff that I'm doing as well. And I know there are people knitting preemie hats for the zombie knit apocalypse. Any of those sort of things, that is also a hug for parents. Not necessarily leading up to Mother's Day, but it's still a hug for parents. So that is also going to be included in the knit along. There are prizes. There is a prize donated by the amazing Meg from Atelier Yarns. She sent along 2 skeins. One's meant to be for me, one's meant to be for you. I'm going to let you choose which one you want. So these are the yarns again. They are just gorgeous. Both of them are just gorgeous yarns. This is the Merino Nylon Sock Fingering Atelier Colorist in the Acid Wash Denim, which is really beautiful. And this one is just as beautiful in the Atelier Sydney, which is 4-ply fingering, and that is in the Heaven colourway. So both of them fantastic colourways. Yeah, and there will probably be another couple of prizes as well, so stay tuned for that. You have until the end of April. I am hoping to knit a shawl for my friend whose son's funeral we went to yesterday, because I'm sure Mother's Day is going to be a challenge for her this year. So that will be coming up. That's something I hope to cast on next month. I've just got lots on the needles at the moment that I need to get off. Yeah. So I think I can move on to the knitting. I have a hoe. I have a test knit that I have been undertaking for Josh, who is sort of a knitter, SWORD of a knitter, on Ravelry. Now Josh, just a minute, let me get this right. I'm trying to get this so that I can show a tiny bit of the pattern, but not show the main parts. So I think I can probably show you a toe. Yeah, I know, it's not much, but here comes the rain again. It is an amazing pattern. I never thought I was a fast sock knitter. I cast this on Friday. I stuffed up the toe a few times just because it's a toe-up sock and it's coming out soon. Just because I misread things myself and then just something in the testing. Knit on it a little bit on Saturday, knit on it a little bit on Sunday. It felt like got to the ribbing Sunday night, thought I'll do that Monday morning, did the ribbing Monday morning. So an amazing quick knit. And I could have gone on and done the second sock and had that finished for now, but I needed to get some other stuff done. As you can imagine, with Josh's patterns, Josh likes to use slip stitches, short rows, all sorts of different techniques. So you can imagine there may or may not be anything to do with that in this sock, but it is designed for self-striping yarn. I used the amazing 716 Glitz from 716 Knits. You can see this sparkle there in the Dance of Capitalist Superiority. And I really, really, really love this yarn. It has some silk in it as well with the stellina, and it knits up so beautifully. I used I'm pretty sure with this one I used Chao Gu 2.5s for it, and really, really, really love it. Can I get, that's the toe, can I try and get a bit of the cuff? Let me see. Trying to get it so that, there we go. So yeah, you can see my really super stretchy bind off. as I say, I really like them. I'm looking forward to doing the second sock, but that's going to wait until next month. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when they're at. I'll be able to show them to you in full. The second thing I have been working on is also another sort of an Energy and Tricks Designs. It is the mystery shawl. I finished clue 2. I have not started clue 3 yet, which is really silly of me because it's a big clue. But I'm hoping to sit down and do that this evening. I have here clue 2 finished. Here's clue 1 and 2. This is Solar Flair Fibres in the Wala base, which is a light worsted weight base. Yes, the shawl calls for a fingering weight, but I wanted to try and knit it up in a worsted weight to see how it knitted up. Absolutely loving it so far. And the 3 colours we have are Burning Orange, which is that beautiful colour. The Eyes Have It, which is that blue. And let me reach into my bag. This is, I should say, my Slip Stitch Studios bag, my zombie, Jane Austen and Zombies bag, which I really love, and the yellow, which is Wattle, which is a lot more golden than that that's coming out there. So they're my 3 colours in the shawl, and I will hopefully have clue 3 done, and possibly even clue 4 by the next time you see me. The other thing I cast on, because, I mean, why settle at just having a couple of things on the needles? I have been working on my low tide cardigan, and that is coming along. That has actually been my handbag knitting, even though I wasn't going to do it as handbag knitting. I find it's the easiest thing to have as handbag knitting at the moment. I haven't got it; it's still in my handbag, so I haven't got it to show you. But I have done an extra couple of inches to where I showed you last time. I'm hoping to have that finished in the near future because it's been on the needles far too long. It's just a stockinette zombie part that I'm in. The other thing I cast on is the amazing Nicole C. Mendez out of Germany. Has this fantastic sock yarn. This is self-striping in a rainbow colour, and yes, these are the skew socks. This is a sport weight. It's a 6-ply sport weight merino nylon, and I'm using 2.75mm needles. Now the skew socks call for I think 2.25 and a fingering. I'm hoping going up in the yarn and also in the needle size, they might go around my foot. I don't know. I'm up to doing the foot, but I've stopped doing them at the moment. I put them aside, so I need to get the other thing done. Plus I've got another test knit that I'm doing, and another test knit, so there's lots of test knitting going on. I should also mention I am wearing my striped study shawl only because I put a t-shirt on this morning forgetting I was going to podcast. It's got all these marks down it. It's fine for me hanging around at home, but not really what you want to see when I'm podcasting. So that is that. I would like to have these done by the end of the month, both of them, because of the Stockinette Zombies self-striping knit along. So I need to get a move along with these as well. I think if tomorrow's the 21st, it's the 28th, 30 days in September, everything's in November. We've got 31 days, so I've got until Monday week. Just so much to do. So, yeah. Plus I have another test knit that I need to cast on as well. But perhaps if I do some of that and some of this and some of that and some of this, I felt like I was a bit of a sock knitting machine this week because I did that in about a day. The foot in less than a day really. And that sock was done in basically 2 days. So, yeah. Hey, that's what it is. That, I think, is all for knitting. No spinning to show this week. I actually haven't touched my wheel. I've wanted to, I just haven't been able to. Just have not had time. I have been really tired and found myself in bed really early for me, like 8:30 the other night. Last night I was in bed at just after 10 and sleeping through my alarm waking me up. So, hey, I had some blood tests done a couple of weeks ago and got the results last week. I'm going to go back for a secondary blood test because I've got high iron levels. Low iron levels, just give iron. High iron levels, it's going to depend what the cause is. That's why they're doing the second blood test. If they can find a cause, then I will possibly have to go and have some blood drawn, like blood bank, take a pint of blood every couple of weeks for a while until my blood levels can get back to normal. So we're waiting to see. We're going to see what the levels are like, perhaps do some genetic testing because there is a condition called hemochromatosis, which is apparently the most common genetic disorder, and the doctor says that's a real possibility. If it is, he said it's not something that's going to really worry you. You're just going to be giving blood 4 or 5 times a year, and hey, I'm cool with that. So actually, while I'm mentioning that, because even before I go into acquisitions, let's just throw this little segment in here. A couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, I signed up. The gym was having a 12-week challenge, and I signed up with Mimmel. We both signed up, and you have a personal training session each week, which we already do, and then you have a group fitness session on a Saturday morning at 7:30, which is so early, it's not funny, especially on a Saturday, which we've been going along to. And they give you menu plans, but a lot of it is stuff that I can't eat, because I really can't eat a lot of gluten and a lot of dairy. So we've been mainly following the paleo. We got weighed last week. I'd gained 300 grams, Nimla gained 3 kilos. Neither of us can work out why, because we've actually been eating healthily. So I think since then I've totally fallen off the wagon, which is, quite disappointing. I need to get back on it, and say that, yes, I'd lost measurements off my bust and my waist. So they're, anyway, it is what it is. I just need to get back on the horse and keep going. So it's an ongoing thing, eating healthily, and I just want to get both of them together. I can get the exercise going, I can get the eating healthy going, but getting them both together would be absolutely perfect. So if I can do that over the next couple of months, that would be an ideal goal for me. And I suppose I've got another 8 weeks or so to go, so I can give it a go. Now, let's see. I have acquisitions. I had the most awesome mail day today, but I also have something that arrived a couple of weeks ago that I forgot to show, and that was my Into the World February shipment. It is the Courtly Frogs. I think you can sort of see through there. It's a bit hard through the plastic. I was going to say I don't really want to rustle, but the sound of the rain, you probably wouldn't hear much of the rustling anyway. You can see where my guttering's gone away and the water's drizzling down there. So this is merino, and you can see there some of the beautiful colours, and as always, beautifully dyed. I like this, but it's not one of the ones I totally love, so I'm probably going to de-stash it. I'm looking at doing a bit of a de-stash in the next couple of weeks, and I think I'm going to include this, just so that someone else can gain the pleasure of spinning some of the Into the World, because it really is beautiful stuff to spin. So that was that. Then my yarn arrived from my Highland Handmaids Club, the Snapshots of Maine Club. If you haven't got it yet, you might want to look away. This is the worsted weight. It is the faded flannel. Oh, it is just beautiful. It is the red ash worsted, which is 100% Taji yarn, 275 yards. And I don't think I've put the inspiration photos all the way over there now, where I opened it. Heather does the most amazing job. She gives the most beautiful description each time and sends a postcard as well. So I'm looking forward to knitting this up. I'm thinking it will probably become a hat or something for Mimmel. Hat or some mitts, or even a hat and mitts, because there's probably enough on there, 275 yards, to do that. So we'll wait and see. I've said to Heather on the forums that it would make a really nice sweater. So it's got a nice twist on it. It's not the softest of yarns probably, but at the same time it's not totally hard. Excuse me, just rubbing it up and down my face. So that is that one. Then last week I decided I wanted to order some 29-inch sock needles to see what the go is. So I put in an order at Pearlwise and received my little 9-inch sock needles, which to me seemed like it's going to be like doll's knitting. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to cope with the way I knit, but at least I'll be able to give it a go. These are higher sharps. I do like my higher sharps, don't get me wrong. I have had issues with cables before with them, but I'm going to see how they go. Now, I ordered these from Pearlwise, which if you watch Aussie Yarning with Joyce goes on about Pearlwise a lot. And of course, Pearlwise offer free shipping if you order over $50. So I figured, well, I can either order a few sets of needles or I can order some yarn as well. And I looked at their yarn and I drooled over lots of it. Then I decided I would get some opal sock yarn. So I got 2 different colours of self-striping opal sock yarn because you can never have enough self-striping sock yarn, and self-striping sock yarn does not count as stash. They've included a very pretty mini skein of Cascade Heritage Silk in the turquoise, which will go into my blanket, which needs some work on it. I haven't actually worked on it in the last week or so, really. So I am a bit behind. I would like to catch up, and I need to catch up. Someone had a very good idea, because I said I didn't want to bring it across to the US for the zombie knit apocalypse, and they said, well, at the moment, why don't you knit X amount wide, and then at the knit apocalypse you can knit Y amount wide and build up from there. Then when you get home, join them up. And I thought, what a brilliant idea. So that's what my plan will be. Speaking of my sock yarn blanket, I received some beautiful mini skeins from a viewer who sent them in an envelope, which is exactly what I really wanted. Whoops, there goes one. Sorry about that, just fell out of the envelope. So, yeah, just fitting a few into the envelope, and again, looking forward to incorporating those into the blanket. So thank you very much, you know who you are. The other thing I acquired, and you know how I said self-striping sock yarn is not stash? My other thing at the moment is sweater quantities of yarn are not stash. Now, you may want to tell me you're dreaming, and I think I am probably dreaming, but I happened to catch a Woolmars update. And I happened to have some money that had been gifted to me, and I thought, why not? So, as always in their fantastic paper bag, I picked this up today. I ordered 2 skeins of the pure yarn in the Magnolia colourway, as you can see there. It's actually quite a nice representation. It's very tonal, so really looking forward to that. And I ordered 3 skeins of DK in the So Long Kitty colourway, which is a darker pink as well. I wore a pink top a couple of weeks ago and went to 2 or 3 different functions, and lots of people said to me, it's about this colour. They said, that colour really, really suits you. You can wear more of it. And I thought, well, why don't I? So I only got 3 skeins of this, of the DK. Now, they are 200 grams, so 600 grams of yarn here. I think it's about 1,400 yards. Yeah, 100 grams is 234 yards. So it's about, I'm pretty sure that I've got about 1,400 yards. I don't know if it's going to be enough for a calligraphy cardigan for me. I think I probably should have got an extra ball if I wanted to do that. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something probably just plain stockinette type style. I'd like a cardigan, but I don't know. Not convinced yet. So that is that. The pure, the Magnolia colourway, I am probably going to use for the, let me get the name of this right, the Hitofeud cardigan by Hiroko Fukatsu. Hitofeud, meaning single brushstroke in Japanese. It's a cardigan with an all-over lace pattern that I am doing as a knit-along with a couple of people on Instagram and Twitter, I think. I think that's what we're doing it. So I'm probably going to use this, although I do have some other yarn coming that I might use for it as well. So if that gets here first, it will depend. So that is that. I think that's all I have to show you. I do have to go downstairs and get all the yarn for the update. I've got that in the tub downstairs, and I was going to bring it up, and I thought I'll do it as a separate shoot and join them all together. So if you don't want to hang around and see the pretties, you are missing out, but that's okay. I will catch you again when I record next week. Otherwise, I'll be back in a tick. Okay, I'm back, and I am now surrounded by a mountain of wool, which I'm really excited about. There are 3 bases going up in the shop this week. We have the Zoya, which is the barber pole fingering weight. We have the Apollo, which is 80/20 BFL nylon, which has a really beautiful twist to it. And we also have the MCN base, which is called Anya. Now, before I go on, I just wanted to remind people of the Love for Leighton colourway. This is one I dyed up in the Zoya thick colourway, which is the, I suppose, the big cousin, if you like, or the big sister or big brother of the Zoya colourway. It is a DK worsted weight. I'm going to knit a soft toy out of this for Leighton's son. So that's something that I'm hoping to do this week as well, in amongst everything else that I'm hoping to do. So all of these ones will be going up tomorrow, which means I have a huge afternoon ahead of me because I've got orders to get out and I have all this yarn to photograph and put up in the shop. So now, where shall we start? Let's start here. This is Rock Face. Now I dyed this on both Apollo. You can see there it's quite a dark grey with speckles through it, and also on the Anya base. Now the Anya base takes dye totally differently to the Apollo base, and often has a lot more variance in it. So you'll see that in the photos as they go up. Now, I have my box down here. Next, we have one of our old favourites, which is Dragon Scales. It has come out perfectly on the Anya base. As you can see there, it's got the purpley overtones with the lightish tealy blues underneath. On the Apollo, I'm going to be calling this dark because it has come out quite dark. There are only a few little speckles of the blue coming through, otherwise it is quite purple. Still a beautiful colourway, so that will be Dragon Scales Dark. I have Emerald, again, which is a beautiful green in Apollo and Anya. There is Lavender, which is, I think, one of my favourite colourways at the moment and one of the colourways I'm doing my test knit in. I haven't re-tied these. Usually I will put them up on my skeiner and re-tie them. I've just skeined these up straight off the hanger from when they've been drying. So this is not how they're going to be eventually, but I wanted to be able to show you. That is the Anya base, which is quite pinky purple really, and again the Apollo base. Then we have another old favourite, which is Sea Glass, again in Apollo and Anya. Yeah, Anya, that's right. Sorry, here's me getting confused about what I'm calling my colourways. We have Hi Ho, again, which is a lighter grey, again in the Anya base and the Apollo base. This blends beautifully with other colours as well. And Denim. Now, this is a really good example of the difference between Apollo. Now, I'm not sure if this one's going up, so I'm pretty sure there's already an Apollo in Denim up there, but I dyed this up anyway, so you'll be able to find that in the shop. This is it in the Anya base. So you can see them both together, exactly the same formula, exactly the same measurements of dye. This is just taking it up totally differently. And again, that's the benefits of solar dyeing. Now we move on to those that were dyed on a different day, and they were dyed up with the Zoya base. So our old favourite Heartthrob, as you can see there on the Apollo base, and then Heartthrob here on the Zoya base. So that would make a really, really gorgeous shawl, or something like that, hat, mittens, that sort of thing. We have the Silver Cupcake, Confetti Silver Cake, that's it, Confetti Silver Cake in the Apollo. And again, I really love the way this has come out on the Zoya base as well. So you can see that there with all the different colours. We have these three I only did, no, then we, yeah, sorry, these ones here, Apollo, Spring Fling, and again the Zoya base. Now, the green has not really barber poled, but the flashes of pink has, so I really would love to see this knit up. I think it would be quite beautiful knit up. The way this is dyed is I actually put it in a very light solution and then inject a dye straight into the middle of it without agitating anything. And because I do solar dyeing, there's no agitation of the water. So it means the dye just goes where it wants to go. So I have that. This one here has moved around a bit, which has given it some beautiful subtle shades in the Apollo, and I have it in the Zoya base. Now I have the last three are only in the Zoya base. We have Playroom, which we haven't had for a while. These are the ones where we've got a third yellow, a third red, and a third blue. We have Funfair, which is, again, yellow, pink, and blue, a lighter blue. It's actually a bit paler than what's showing there. Sort of. It's a bit more aqua-y than what is coming up. And a new one, which I haven't yet named, which will come to me at some stage, which is a pink, a yellow, and a grey. Someone actually asked for this, that colour combination, so I have done that one up. So again, not sure what I'm going to call it. I might actually put it up as a one of a kind because next time I think I'm going to use a different yellow. But it will be up, so that will be up as a one of a kind. And speaking of one of a kinds, the final one to go up will be a winter rainbow one of a kind. This one, I think I put too much vinegar in the soaking water. It's the only thing I can come up with. And the colours have just capillarized up and down the skein. This was meant to be a custom order and it just went haywire. So I'm willing to sell it if people would like to buy it. It won't be reskeined. And yeah, so you can see there the ways, and that's a really good example there between the yellow and the orange. The yellows have just totally gone in there. It's a real buttery yellow. You can see some bluey greys through there and again through that side. So that will also be a one of a kind. That is all that's going up in the update tomorrow morning. So to be tomorrow morning at 9:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I will publicise it on Plurk, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the usual places. There will also be a newsletter going out this afternoon. No, all this stuff I've got to get done, plus all these packages to go out, including the club packages, which are so close to being ready to go, it's not funny. I think the ladies at the post office are going to be surprised when I walk in with lots and lots and lots of parcels, which I'm really excited about. Thank you all for your continued support, especially people who've been waiting for orders for so long. Last year's wet was not a typical wet. We had some patches of rain, but it was usually a week of sunshine in between, or at least a few days of sunshine a week. This year, it feels like we've just had, the last 8 weeks have been wet. And I think if we hadn't have had those 4 or 5 days of sunshine earlier this week, I just would have been tearing my hair out even more now. So thank you all who continue to support me and my business venture. The other thing with Shop News, I will be starting some pre-orders from April. There is a collaboration I am doing with Josh, who is sort of a knitter, that will be launched in April. That will be up for pre-orders. I'm also going to be doing some pre-orders for sweater quantities of yarn for people who are going to the zombie knit apocalypse. Now, a couple of reasons behind this. One, I don't really know how many sweater quantities to take, and if people would like to pre-order, that's a lot better. Two, if people would like to speak to me, I can arrange a lay-by system where they pay a certain amount each month. And three, if you've pre-ordered yarn and prepaid for it, you can go home from the zombie knit apocalypse to your partner and you can say, you can come home with your 4 or 5 skeins of solar Flair Fibres and 1 skein of someone else, and you can say, I got all this yarn for $30. Isn't that fantastic? That's all I paid at the zombie knit apocalypse was $30 and I got all this yarn. So, you know, a little bit of helping people get around it. So that's just something I will be offering. That will be coming in April, so it's a couple of weeks away. I have a friend who used to dye, who is now not dyeing commercially, had some yarn left over, so I've been able to buy that, which is fantastic. So that means I'll be able to have a special offer as well with that. So I think that's about it. I'll just move that back around. I moved it around that way because of the glare through there. I'm not sure, I still haven't worked out the best place to record. It's probably best if I record later in the afternoon, to be honest, or else I get some big lights, but I'm not sure. Anyway, until next week, I will say uru, cheers, bye.